Hey there, I'm Derek, the co-founder of Ignition, and I'm going to give you a quick demo of Ignition. So we built Ignition to help align stakeholders better around launch processes, but also to help you actually generate best practice-based launch plans quicker. So this is the main dashboard in the product. You can see all of the launches across your company kind of laid out chronologically. It's all filterable by product line, by launch tier, by owner, by a bunch of different parameters. You can also quickly and easily give everybody across the company a calendar view of all the launches coming down the pipe. You can even drill down into specific launches and see milestones associated with them. I'll talk about how we handle launch processes in general in a second. But first, before launches even happen, one big problem for product marketing teams and product teams as well is oftentimes they don't know that something's going to be launching in the near future far enough in advance in order to actually plan effectively around it. So we've built an integration with Jira, Linear, and a bunch of other places that product roadmaps live. We'll allow you to import that into our tool by integrating, and then we'll actually predictively surface upcoming epics that look like they need a launch planned around them in the near future into a watch list based on aggregate scope of work, the velocity of tickets closing, overall completion of them. We also give you, I showed you that we can kind of append all these tickets to the launch plan. We can give you an estimation based off of the work that's happening in your launch on whether or not your launch is on track to ship on time or not. And then because we have visibility across both the work that's happening on the go-to-market side of things as well as on the product side of things, we can actually give you a really nice dashboard that shows you aggregate launch readiness across the product team, the go-to-market team, all the asset approvals, and a quick snapshot of all of your promotional timelines and tasks. And then when it's time to actually create a launch in our product, oftentimes product teams think about launch plans a little differently from the way that go-to-market teams do. And so go-to-market teams often want to package up a bunch of different features into a launch. So we let you do that. We let you take all of these epics in Jira, and we say, hey, okay, we're going to create a launch plan out of these three things. We'll create the launch, and then we go give that launch a name, give it a description, give it a launch date, give us some input about like what's the type of thing that you're launching, how much effort do you want to allocate to it. We even have some embedded workflows for helping you to establish, what launch tier you should actually apply to a launch. So you give us some inputs, and then we're actually going to create the launch plan for you. So we have a dynamic recommendation structure that has multiple different layers of recommendations that we make based off of the criteria of your launch. So we'll take all these inputs, and first what we'll do is we'll structure the plan itself. So we give you all the different modules that you're going to need to complete in order to create, a full-fledged launch plan here. You can always customize this and turn these off. You can add things, you can move them around, do all that good jazz. And then we create the plan itself. And once a plan is created in Ignition, I'll talk to you about what this looks like in a second, but we have a second level of recommendations, which is we're actually going to, at the module level, help to populate things like asset plans and project plans based off of, again, like upstream inputs that you're giving us. So, for example, say you have set up some channels. I haven't in this instance, but say you've set up some promotional channels that you want to use for your launch plan. Each of those channels typically needs a set of assets associated with it. So we'll take your channel inputs and we'll actually crank out an asset plan for you based off of the channels that you're running media on. We also do the same thing with tasks. So if you want to build out a promotional plan, we will take your upstream launch tier, channel activity, asset plans, and we'll instantly generate a best practice based project plan for you with work back schedules pre-populated based off of your launch date. And eventually these will actually change with your launch date when you change the end date. This is all filterable by, again, tags, by what phase of launch it's happening in, etc. So let's take a look at a launch plan that's actually got some stuff in it and is a little bit more interesting. So this is what a launch plan looks like in Ignition, where we've taken the kind of classic launch plan doc and broken it into all of its component parts. So we have modules for all of the important information around launch plans, like what are your KPIs, who are the personas that you're targeting. Also, we have really nice road mapping tools around all the different promotional activity that's happening. Each of these things can have budgets associated with them, tags, etc. And then, like I mentioned, we have recommendations kind of baked into the product. You don't have to use our recommendations, but they're there to make your life easier if they can. Each of these modules can independently be commented on. We have threaded replies and app mentions. You can apply owners to all of them. And then when it comes to copying assets, you can actually also apply owners. We even have an AI copywriting tool that helps you to generate best practice based copy based off of your messaging. So you hit generate here and it'll crank out 140 character copy for you. And then when it comes time to actually share this stuff with your cross-functional teammates, we can, modularly share. The whole reason that we broke the plan into its different parts is so that we can say, hey, I just want to share this subset of information with this group of people. And then if I were to hit send here, all those folks are going to get an update that looks something like this pushed directly into their inbox. So they'll get a notification that includes all the content of all the modules that you want to share. And we're working on setting this up so that you can actually set that up to recur as well, so you can send ongoing status updates. We're working on baking in a bunch more workflows to help you guys actually execute the work here. So, the copy generation is just one example of that. We're going to be adding more, and we hope you like it.